Hello everyone, and welcome back to Ruby Lessons in Codecademy. So in the last lesson we looked at Lambdas, and as you can remember, this whole topic is on blocks, procs and Lambdas. They all do similar things, but sometimes one is more useful than the other. It depends on your situation and preference. So you're basically a Ruby block master at this point. This should be pretty easy. If you haven't watched the previous 3 videos, I would strongly recommend you do, because this video is just a recap of those. It won't be going into too much depth. But if you do want to watch this video first, I don't mind. It's your choice. I can't really force you to do anything. So our instructions, let's move on. The odds and ends array is full of all sorts of objects, but we only want the integers, numbers without decimal bits. So the 42, 3, 19 would be integers. Even if we had another element which was 13.0, that also wouldn't be considered an integer. Just a heads up. I'm not going to edit it because this is what is given. I might try to edit it at the end though. So create a new variable ints. Okay. And store the result of calling odds. Okay, I can just copy that over, I believe. .select method with a block that checks if the element is a integer. So that shouldn't be too difficult. We could define a proc to do this. However, the easiest way of doing it would be something like this. We do n, and then check if n dot is underscore a question mark integer. And maybe we just need to remove those parentheses. Actually, no. We need to put an and in front of that, I believe. Or not. Why? Let's see. There we go. Got there eventually. Wrong type of brackets, but yeah. This is a block. It's the simplest type of thing we have covered. So what it does is it sees whether this evaluates to true or false for all of these. So because we have select goes through each one of these, and then it does this on each of the elements in this array. So it checks whether wizard is an integer. If it's false, it doesn't add it on. Moves on. 42 is an integer, adds it on. Trady Blix, as you can see, is in quotation marks, so is not an integer. Also, if we had 23, that wouldn't count as an integer, it would count as a string because it has a quotation mark around it. And again, I will add 13.0 just to show that those do not get added on, as you can obviously see, because they don't count as integers. True is a boolean, that's a float or a double or a real if you want to go there. That's also a float, that's a string. Okay, let's just move on. I believe that's quite easy to understand. Creating a proc. Now let's tackle procs. First step, create one. Fair enough. Create a proc called under 100. Proc. That's not how you should do. Proc.new. There we go. That checks if a number it's passed is less than 100. So num less than 100. We'll handle passing this proc the .select method in the next exercise. We won't need to do anything with the ages array just yet. Okay, so all they want us to do in this lesson is just to create the proc, and that is fine. Moving on, passing your proc to a method. So, instructions. Now we'll be using the ages array. So let's get into it. Ages.select, I'm going to guess, even without reading anything yet. We will need an and symbol, if I can find it. I will struggle to find my and symbol. It's on my 7 for some reason. I have a British keyboard, it's quite annoying. Under 100, create a variable called youngsters. Oh, okay. Actually, this is probably what's going to happen. Youngsters. Have I even spelled that correctly? Just to make sure I'm going to do that. There we go. And set it equal to calling .select on ages and pass it to your under 100 proc to filter for the ages that are less than 100. Remember to pass and under 100 to convert your proc to a block. Okay, we have done that. So all of these people are really young, even though they're 94. obviously the 7-year-old is young, but okay, if that's how you want to classify your people, then that's fine with me. So as you can see, also 100 doesn't get added because they're equal to 100. If we wanted 100 to get added, then we would do less than or equal to, which would be incorrect, but just something to consider if you wanted to go that way. And as you can see, this is how you pass a proc, which we have done before. So I'm going to move on, creating a lambda. So this is the last and newest thing we have done in this topic. Second verse, same as the first. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a lambda. Create a lambda called first half. Right, yep, underscore equals lambda. Here we go. That checks if a hash value is less than, that is earlier in the alphabet than M. No need to do anything with the crew hash just yet. Make sure to use capital M since we'll be checking capitalized names. I actually don't remember how to check the alphabet thing. I mean, things like, specific things like these, you aren't really specifically required to remember. You can't easily Google things if you work on a computer all the time. Which is why, let's just see. No, that is not given to us. I'm just going to look at that in a second. So let's just set this out before I do that. Because it will check in your hash, your lambda should include key value instead of just value. Yeah, okay, of course. Key value. And our hash is going to be that, I believe. So I will be right back in a second. So the code is actually given here. You do literally do less than M. So that's quite useful in Ruby actually. I don't think that many other languages have that kind of a thing. So if you want to check whether a letter comes before capital M in the alphabet, you do literally just do less than that letter. And it is value, otherwise you would have got an error. Just to make sure. Yep, that's wrong. So the hash is the value, as I had suspected. So let's move on. Passing your lambda to a method. Once again, quite similar to a proc, except for that it does mind how many arguments you give it. To finish up, let's go ahead and create a variable called a to m and set it equal to calling.select on crew and where is it? As I said, just cannot find my and crew. Nope, that is not correct. We need to do it to first half to convert your lambda to a block, and that should be fine. As you can see, the way it's given to us is in the old style with the arrow thing notation, but we still get what we wanted to get. We get all of the ones which are before M, capital M. So we get Data, LaForge, Crusher. Picard, that's after M. Riker, that's also after M. Worf, that's after M. Troy is after M. And yeah, the others are before M, which is why we get them. So that's going to be it for today's lesson. If you have any questions, as I have been saying many times before, do feel free to ask in the comments down below. I will answer them as soon as possible. Other than that, if you enjoyed watching this video, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. It encourages me to make more videos like this one. But yeah, thanks so much for watching and goodbye.